All right, happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to the daily broadcast. Coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios. Today it cooled down a little bit, but you still needed a little bit of Arctic air. We think then if your air is not Arctic, you call the bear, callthebear.com. And if you're looking for a great career in the heating and the cooling industry, you need to call them. Not a job, a career. Callthebear.com. All right, we got stuff to do today. It's Friday. Every Friday we ask you an incredibly important question around here. What's the most Texan thing you did this week? You tell us the most Texan thing you did. Beyond that, we'll talk a little tech football. Maybe some of your biggest questions right now as we a couple of weeks out here. What are we? It's the 9th, then on the 16th, and then the 23rd, and then the 30th. So 1, 2, 3 Fridays to go before we've got Texas Tech football going. And it's happy birthday to Sam Elliott. We're going to talk about Sam Elliott's greatest movies, your favorite roles, your favorite movies for one Sam Elliott. So all that stuff tonight right here in the Arctic Air Studios. You guys know what to do. If the audio is good, the video is good. Give us thumbs up, give us hearts, whether you're on Twitter, YouTube, or I should say X, YouTube, or Facebook. And then share it with your friends. Let's start this thing in 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com, coming to you from the Arctic Air Studios here in West Texas tonight. You guys know what we're talking about. We are brought to you by Charles Middleton and Son. You know, what do? Well, they do farm sales, they do ranch sales, they do appraisals. They make all the big sales around this part of the country. I mean, somebody had to sell the Sixes, somebody had to sell the Matador Ranch, somebody had to make that happen. They make it happen. They've done it for 100 years, a century. So if you're looking at buying a farm or ranch around this part of the country, or maybe you're looking at putting yours on the market for whatever you're looking to sell it for, maybe you're looking to sell, a hunting lease, or you've got a great cotton farm and it's time to get out of the business. Middleton and Son, they'll make it happen for you. They're the best. That's why we talk about them. That's why we partnered up with them. We only want to work with the best in West Texas and beyond. And believe me, it's beyond. So I think most of you guys are familiar with their work. If not, check out their website, check out their Facebook page, everything they do. All right. And my man, well, we'll talk about, we'll talk about, what Ben's got going on, maybe on Monday. I'm still waiting for them to put the official property listing up there. But if you go to our Facebook page, our man Ben Kirkpatrick has a great new property out there. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have said anything. You guys are going to buy it before it's all done. Colorado as well. Yeah, Colorado. You name it. If it's good, they sell it. Also, brought to you by my friend Jeff Fagan and Fagan Outfitters in Red River, New Mexico. If you're going to go fishing in northern New Mexico at any time of year, you need a guide. You want Fagan, all right? You want Jeff, and he's a pretty good guitar picker and singer as well. But trust me, don't go to anybody else. Go with him. And whether you're a novice, you've never done it before, or you think you're pretty good, then that's definitely who you want to work with. He'll put you on some great water. So Jeff Fagan is your guy up there for fly fishing in northern New Mexico, based out of Red River. All the communications tonight, whether it's Randy or CJ or Craig, whether you're on Facebook or X or on YouTube tonight, United Supermarkets is making that happen. That's what they do. They support West Texas. They're huge in Raiderland. And of course, all the Western wear you see, brought to you by, that we wear, brought to you by Boot City, 1 Money, 7 Mile outside the West Loop. What did I see today? Like 30% off all straw hats. This is when you go buy your straw hat, right? Right? This is when you go and you're looking at yours and it's all sweaty and beat up and everything. And that's cool. We like that. But you got to have a decent one to wear out when you're going out with the wife and everything. So this is when you go save some money. Get it done. Oh, they'll sell East Texas. 106 acres. Thinking about selling, you talk to them, Charles Middleton and Son. Do it. Dear Hyatt, dear fake Natalie Maines, sitting there on X. Now we just need our YouTube people. Everybody else is in. All right, tonight, most Texan thing you have done this week. Every Friday we ask you that question. I worry that you guys aren't doing enough Texan things. We give bonus points if you're outside the state of Texas doing Texan things. That's cool. But for many years, we have asked you this, and we will continue asking every Friday one standing order in this company: clean socks, dry socks. Number two, what's the most Texan thing you've done? Also today, it's happy birthday to Sam Elliott, great actor, not born in Texas, born in Sacramento, California. Give us your favorite movies, best roles, you name it. Your favorite Sam Elliott moments over the years. And really, for me, it may be Sam Elliott meeting Catherine Ross when he was an extra, pretty much, on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, and freaking marrying Catherine Ross. There you go. There you go. Saw her, liked her, married her, said yes. Don't know why, but she did. And I'm thankful to her every day. Tried to get her out riding a bicycle earlier. Didn't happen. Not going to happen. That's the way it goes. Still married Catherine freaking Ross. What'd you do with your life, mijo? How are you? I'm fine. Is Hasty going crazy with the elections now? No, not really. Hasty's kind of like me. He's not quite an old bull, but he's getting close. He's getting close, and he doesn't get too excited one way or the other about this stuff because you do it enough times, and you've seen it before. You've seen the storylines before. Well, we've seen the storylines before with Trump and with Harris and everything else going on. It's, what's going to happen. Big Lebowski, good movie. Most Texan thing you've done. And then Tech football, whatever might be on your mind as we hit a Friday. You saw, I assume, the media availability with Baron Morton, QB1. You probably saw the Micah Hudson media availability. By the way, here's to Joey McGuire and Texas Tech and the current administration, because there have been some coaches in the past that freshmen don't get to talk to the media. Like, it's a treat to talk to Don freaking Williams and David Collier. Like, oh my God, you're denying them so much happiness by being able to talk to those guys. And the current regime, sounds so serious, politics regime. McGuire's like, hell yeah, you talk to me. If you can't, hold on a second. If I've got a football player that I'm counting on Saturday to do amazing things, to handle a load, to carry everything, 18, 19, 22, 24, whatever it is, and I'm counting on him to show up in big games and big moments, but I can't count on him to stand in front of the local media and answer questions, I've got a player I can't count on. I've never understood that. This goes back to when I was in college and Spike Dykes was the head coach and different things. And I'm like, if you can't handle talking to the media, you probably can't handle the spotlight on Saturday on the field. Luckily, McGuire gets that. They understand that. Another big Lebowski comment. When we talk about Sam Elliott, you have so many movies and roles to choose from. I guess it maybe depends on how old you are and what different things you've seen. Talking about that, 80 years old, by the way, today, 80. Didn't seem like he'd be 80. He's 80 years old. So mentioned he was card player number 2 in Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Card player not even number 1, card player number 2. CJ goes, Sackett's good. Tombstone Roadhouse. We were soldiers. We were soldiers. We were young once, and we were soldiers. Was the name of the book by General Hal Moore that they made into a movie. He plays Sergeant Major Plumley, and he has one of the greatest lines in the movie: "Gentlemen, prepare to defend yourselves." You sure you don't want a rifle going in, sir? I'm pretty sure there'll be plenty lying around on the ground for me to pick up when we get there. By the way, for those who don't know, that's a true story, a true character that he played in that in the Sergeant Major. So pretty good. Sackett's was great. Conager, pretty good. We'll get into Tombstone versus Roadhouse. And I guarantee you there's one movie that no one's going to mention, and it was a great role that he had about 1997, 98, and nobody's going to get it. Robert Delgado is on YouTube. The most Texan thing I've done is have a nice grilled juicy burger with brisket on it. Hold on. Now, did you have the burger and then brisket on the burger, like a traditional meat ground beef patty, and then brisket on top of that? Because if you did, knock yourself out. That's pretty good. Randy is on Facebook. Thanks to United Supermarkets in Market Street. He gets to talk to us. Collier ordered a bunch of Switzer throwback coaching polos today. Ranked the best OU option quarterbacks this morning. I guess that was on the radio show. There you go. Switzer's got his own beer out too. $89 for a polo, too rich for my blood. Now I know what Collier's getting there at the TV station, and I certainly know what he's making in radio, and he's not lying. By the way, wow, 11 minutes after the show's done, you couldn't wait to get on the show. I appreciate that, David Collier, everybody. He can ask questions tonight. He can ask questions. Biggest questions regarding Tech football right now. What do you got? We talked over under win total last night, 7.5. Most of us leaning. I'm a slight lean to the over, to the 8 win. I can be convinced out of it. And then you saw a really in-depth profile tonight. David Collier came at 28, Red Raider Nation, on Conyers, the Tech tight end, Mackey Award candidate. My God, he's on a watch list. Now, I was on a watch list at Texas Tech, but it had to do with the Pi Phis and the Kappas. So that was pretty good. I was never on one of those watch lists. Most Texan thing you have done this week, gathering eggs. I gathered eggs. And the first thing I did before I went into the coop is I talked to the snakes. I let them know I'm coming in. Hey, how you doing? Good day. Having a good day? Y'all all right in there? I'm about to come in. If you guys are feeling good, you need to kind of get underneath something or whatever. And don't you dare be in one of the coops when I'm reaching in getting some eggs. Don't be in there. We all good? And I will talk to the snakes before I go in there. And then I compliment the chickens on whatever they proffered up. Yesterday we had 5, which is not really good, but it's hotter than hell. They're not laying right now. Is Collier making Del Hansen and Mike Ducey money to afford the polos? He can't afford the polos. Nobody. By the way, Del Hansen never made Del Hansen money. Mike Ducey, though, made Mike Ducey money. We can do that. Come on, Collier. Give me a great question tonight. Give me something that you didn't use on the radio show. I don't even know if you were on today. Sorry. Brisket was in the bun. In the bun with the hamburger patty. Gentlemen, we have taken this to a new level. Brisket in the bun with it. Not like in the bread. They didn't bake the bread. I need a picture at this point. I saw a picture, by the way, pictures of the Switzer beer. Is this new, Collier? I saw a Switzer beer, and it looks like something from 1937 Germany. Sorry, with the Switzer label and everything. I know that's German, by the way. German or Polish? Actually, that's a good question. So Sam Elliott, best movie. It's his birthday today. That's what we're talking about. It. Craig Owen, Rough Riders. Your favorite movies, your favorite roles, your favorite characters, everything else. I think 2 of the biggest ones come out. They're in 87, 88, whatever it was, with Roadhouse, and then in 93, Tombstone. So he plays Virgil Earp in Tombstone. And in Roadhouse, he plays Sam Elliott, basically. They're both great movies. And the cool thing about, I think, Elliott is that in all of his favorite roles, he's hardly ever the dominant guy. You know, Swayze's the dominant guy. Thought you'd be taller. You know, 1883. He plays Shay in 1883. Craig, I was going to get to that, and I think that may be when we look back 20 years from now, and I hope I'm around to look back on it 20 years from now, that we may go one of his finest pieces of work was playing the character of Shay in 1883 with Taylor Sheridan's work, you know, and how he put really so much of his acting career into that role, and he didn't overact it. He didn't have to. I'll give you the Here you go. I'll give you the best line. I'll give you the best line from 1883. See if I can do this. Helen. Didn't work. And the other favorite scene is early on. He has a lot of great ones, but well, when he's telling the family, you know, you need to go down by the river and die. Get away, get out of here, get away from these people. You're gonna die. Now he pulls that off. It's pretty good. By the way, I made some money in the 1990s doing voice work. This was when beef and what's for dinner and everything, and everybody kind of wanted somebody who could do that. I could pull that off back in the day, and you could do some of that stuff, and I made a little money. Anybody remember the first person to do beef? Beef. Hold on, beef. It's what's for dinner. Anybody remember the first one to do that? Because I believe they were also doing the voiceover from the panels to start Tombstone. So you got Tombstone and a Roadhouse. Great in Roadhouse. Mijo. Got the long hair, everything else. Pretty good. Craig Way. He was on, said he visited, who was on? Hold on. He said he visited OSU and immediately put in his application to OU. That's when Boone Pickens was Rust-Oleum Stadium. Help me out here what we're talking about there. I lost track of some stuff. Yeah, Stacy's right. Robert Mitchum was the first beef guy, and then it's Robert Mitchum who does. I believe it's Mitchum who does the beginning of Tombstone, the Cowboys. And does that whole thing, and then they start the movie. So I thought that was kind of cool. Some people forget about that, but yeah, I could do the in between Mitchum and Elliott back in the 90s, and they were looking for people that could do that, so I could do some, and I got paid shit, just absolute crap, Rest in peace, Richardson. Oh yeah, I hope he does. Rest well. Hold on, who was on? Said he visited OSU. I don't know. Best small role. Best small role 15 years ago or otherwise. Within the last 10, 15 years, best small role that Sam Elliott played. Movie, not The Ranch. Anybody watch The Ranch? It was a Netflix series. And what was it? Kuchar was on there, I think. Can't remember who else was on there. Movie, big stars, and he's only in like one scene. Collier visited OSU as a high school kid and went to a game. He was highly disappointed. Nah, happens. I mean, I went to one game at Oklahoma State football, and I was highly disappointed. And I called probably 15 games there at Gallagher-Iba Arena, and about half the time I was disappointed. Maybe not half the time, probably less than that. Look at the total number of wins. One of my favorite like cameo type deals that he did, that Sam Elliott did. He's not dead, by the way. He's just having a birthday. But he plays the Wisconsin head coach in Draft Day. Are you talking about Bo Callahan? That's one of my finest pieces of work. He's only on screen for like 2 minutes. Bike coaching shorts, Wisconsin coaching shirt, and you're watching freaking Sam Elliott going, that's a college football coach. Catherine Ross, CJ Coleman. Married Catherine Ross, meets on the set, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. And Catherine Ross is like one of the most beautiful people on the planet in 1969. And friggin' Sam Elliott marries her and hangs on to her. Good job. Very good job right there. One of the topics that we're not going to do tonight that I thought about doing was if you could have an actor play the role of Texas Tech football head coach, who would it be? Not that they're being Joey McGuire, but just like if they were doing a movie or something, sort of like Draft Day, and you needed a coach, and you needed an actor to play the coach for Texas Tech, like who would you want? Who would be cool to be the head coach at Texas Tech in a movie that had nothing to do with the current coaches or anything else? Did they play jump around? No, they did not. But they did show the video. Hold on a second. I'll show you something. Keeping my wallet right here. Wallet. Can you see what that says? There you go. Collier will get that. There's a reason why I keep that in there. I'm not going to tell you. You might be able to figure it out, but probably not. Yeah, there's a reason I keep it in there. Handy little reminder. Most Texan thing you have done this week. Gathering eggs probably would be up there for me. And talking to snakes, talking to the chickens. We have a good discussion every time I go out there and everything. You know, that's always good. Oh, there was one other thing. I got in a traffic jam. Got in a traffic jam on a dirt road earlier this week, and we had one of the tractors, and we had a guy who was obviously coming out to do some work on one of the houses that they're building out around here, and he was not used to driving on dirt roads, and he did not know whether to back up. I mean, he didn't know Sikkim from you know, you get the idea. He didn't know Sikkim from come here. And so he's backing up. All of a sudden he's got a little trailer on the back. I think, I don't know, it looked like he maybe was doing some masonry work. And his trailer starts to drop off in the side of the ditch and everything. And everybody's like, this is probably not working out really good and everything else. And, I just backed up as far as I could, found me a little place, watched the show unfold. Tractor got out of the way. Tractor had to find a place, to get out of the way. And then finally, Masonry Boy was able to go down the road. Craig, Collier, top option quarterbacks, Patrick Fletcher, Jason White, Troy Aikman. Aikman would have been great if he hadn't broken his leg. If he didn't break his leg, he's the best option quarterback Oklahoma ever has. He throws that out of the option. With his athletic ability, I ain't screwing around here. Jason White, slightly less mobile than myself. Jonathan Winters could have been a great Spike Dykes. Wow, Jonathan Winters. Number 27. Oh, crap. No, 72. Stacey did my damnedest to try to stay out of the office and under the AC yesterday. I understand. Yeah. No, I got it. Spike Dykes is totally different and really something nobody should do. No Michael Kay doing the Yankees broadcast, so Robert has to listen to the Rangers broadcast. Well, that's only like a Ford C. Frick Award winner and Hall of Famers, and probably better than the Yankee broadcast. So you probably do better on that. Jason White was a great runner until Didn't have two non-contact knee injuries. I don't remember White being a great runner, but then again, I wasn't paying attention the way you would have been paying attention. But hey, I'm serious. I'm serious, by the way. With the, Troy Aikman goes to Oklahoma to run the option. He didn't go there to be a drop back passing quarterback. He goes there out of Henrietta to run the freaking option. And allegations are he was really good at it. And the other thing is, Switzer had evolved the passing game out of the option. And if you guys remember Keith Jackson and some of those tight ends, and they had receivers. They were willing to throw the football out of the option. And Switzer's talked about it over the last 30 something years that he was just kind of salivating at the idea of what he could do maybe with Aikman with that arm combined with his ability to run, and then he couldn't run. Could a powerhouse bring back the option and be successful? Would it work at least in high school football? It works in high school football all the time, Texas and otherwise. Absolutely. Now, let's go to a powerhouse, college football team. Let's go to. Does it have to be a powerhouse? Let's go to just a mid-level college football team in a major conference. Pick your team. First off, when we say option, we've got like 500 different styles of option. So I'm probably not going to line up in the wishbone, okay? I'm probably not going to do that because, one, we don't have fullbacks anymore. If I were going to do the option, I would run today Tommy Lee Jones, a good tech coach. I could see that. Call their Texas rope. Jumping in off of YouTube, thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. If I were going to do the option today, and this is where it gets really hard because we saw it with the pistol, we saw it with zone reads and everything else. I got to get my quarterback back under center to do a true option game. And that's hard to do right now. I would go to a Houston veer type look with two veer backs, and that way I can keep multiple receivers in my routes. Because if we're going to do that, I got to have a wing back. I need a split end. I need a minimum of 3 receivers. Since I got 2 in the backfield, right? I got to have, and you don't have to have a tight end, but I would want a flex back tight end probably. So I would look at running a modified version of the Houston veer with the veer backs, rolling pocket, quarterback under center. And I'm going to make you choose with your outside linebacker. I'm going to make you have at least two linebackers inside because I can still crash and I can still do stuff off the veer, off the option game with the first 2 dive looks. I'm going to make you do that. I'm going to make you have a 7 technique of some sort. And now I've got basically one-on-one coverage downfield. Probably single high safety if they're going to play it straight up. Maybe not. But I'm guessing it's going to be single high safety. And now I've got a lot of inside leverage probably on my outside receivers, and we can do some stuff. So I can go dive, I can go, I pull up, I throw, I go quick, I got a tight end down the seam. I've thrown over the first level, and I would do it that way. So, yeah, you could do it. Didn't Air Force successfully run the wishbone a few years ago? The Air Force in the option game from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s. D. Dowis was one of the greatest wishbone quarterbacks back in the 80s or the late 90s. Georgia Tech, probably the last one to run it, was that Charlie Weatherby, who was there doing it within a Power 5 conference. Yeah, you can do it. It's just a lot of the biggest reason why a lot of coaches don't do it now, most of them don't know how to do it. They never ran it. They were never around it. Bill Pullman, Mike Leach. Yeah. Yeah, you should look into that on the TV side. Makes money. People like it. It's pretty cool. Why won't they let you bring guns into a football stadium if they'll let teams run the shotgun formation? Fantastic question. Second Amendment, you ought to be able to take guns in, I think. Just me. You got a legal license to carry, you're good to go. I want you there in my stadium. I want you on that wall, protecting me. Yeah, Pullman is Leach, the late Bill Pullman. Yeah, Air Force, the academies, Navy, obviously, Army have been very successful running that. It's a very, obviously, as we like to say, a disciplined offense, and that it dovetails into the discipline of the service academies, and that the young men and women who go there are used to doing. Now, really, yeah, it's disciplined. What it picks on is the undiscipline of the defense. Now, the biggest thing is you've got to be an outlier running the option, because there was a reason why the wishbone went away. There was a reason why the option kind of went away in college football. Defenses adapted. They got smarter. They got better. They got faster. They put guys out there. They took it away. We went from the split six, wide tackle six. We went to a 5-2. Then we went to a 4-4, and we were able to run down. And you had guys that said, "Okay, yeah, what do I do? I got a guy, all he does is take the quarterback out. And I punish and pummel the quarterback every single play. And now you're on your third string quarterback. And what do? I take the tailback out every single play. He's trailing the play. I got a guy, he's coming up from the outside, and I blast him. I kill him. I do that. So we took away the option. We took away the wishbone by adaptations in defense. But now defenses have had to adapt. Defense is always second. Offense innovates, defense adjusts. So you could come do the option for a while and either be an outlier and they got to adjust for 1 week, or if everybody tried to do it, they'd adjust. And you know what we do? We go back to Mike Leach's offense in 2000. Bill Paxton dead. Bill Pullman alive. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate that. Nobody could tackle a good Jamel Holloway if he ran in today's football. Yes. Agreed. South Texas teams run slot T, and they're hard to stop. Anything you do like a slot T or a wing T, nobody does single wing, obviously. But if we were going to go slot T, and then wing T, most of that's up front with your offensive lineman. You don't have to have huge, big offensive linemen. You have to have agile kids who can move around, block angle, and do that sort of stuff. You got to have a quarterback who can both run it, keep it, throw it a little bit, and pitch it out. And you've seen teams over the last 20 and 30 years up here in West Texas, not just South Texas, utilize variations of that. Again, we get into the idea that there aren't a lot of coaches that are comfortable running those offenses, that they're not used to it. Here we are in overtime, and I apologize, that they're just not used to it. They didn't grow up with it. They didn't run it. They don't understand it. You can't find offensive line coaches who can coach the angle blocking on that. You can't put a staff together that really gets it. That's why a lot of the offensive schemes die, is that as we go through a 5, 10, 15, 20-year period, all of a sudden, if you're a head coach and you want to do something, you can't find anybody else that knows how to do it. Yeah, slot T is good. Hell, I can run the straight T today. In fact, he said, one of the greatest goal line offensive schemes is a straight T. You can run a straight T, or Dick Winder. He did this until I think he retired. And one of Dick Winder's best goal line lineups was the inverted wishbone, where you got the quarterback, you got the fullback, and instead of them being set back, we bring them up. We're sniffing now. We're sniffing guard butts, and we invert the bone. And I've got 1, 2, 3 quick. I've got a quick pass. Everything is predicated on a 5-yard box window. In the inverted wishbone, by the way, Denver City won a state championship running a lot of the inverted wishbone in the 60s. You just call it the DC bone around here. What was I going to say about Tombstone? I don't know. Probably had to do with Sam Elliott and Tombstone, but he was in it. It was pretty good. That's probably what I was going to say. Liberty Hill runs slot T. I get all the way to state every year. Yeah. Yeah. God, what we walk. I walk down this street, feel like a damn pimp making money off these people. I did make a little bit of money off their voices. I want to thank both Mitchum and Sam Elliott for allowing me to do that back in the day. You know, we could do a little bit of that. All right, we got to call it a night. If you could, if you could do one thing for me tonight, share this on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. That'd be awesome if you do that. We'll update it. We'll post it on our website, theraiderland.com. We'll be with you on Sunday. Yeah, she was pretty hot there in Tombstone. Be with you on Sunday. 5 things we know, and then we will get ready to blow it up the rest of the month. We're about, we're gonna ease in next week, and then ramp up the week of the 19th, and then game week the 26th. Get ready because all hell's gonna break loose around here. I hope to enjoy a cooler weekend. I hope to enjoy some rain tonight here in West Texas. You guys are the best. Thanks for hanging out on a Friday. Mijo.